One time I set up shop at a flea market, and once I set up shop, I went down to check out the other tables, and I saw these nice glasses, very vintage Coke glasses, and I said to myself, they're selling them for $1. I'm going to buy these and sell them for $2. So I took about half of them and put it on my table. Then my friend came down, who came to support me, comes and looks at my glasses and says, these are awesome. I'm going to buy them. I'm going to support you. Me and my friends that were there, that we knew what was going on, we sort of giggled and we let him do it. He buys them. And then he says, I'm going to go look at the other tables. And then he walks over, sees that table, comes back and says, son of a bitch, give me my money back. And we all laughed about it. It was a funny moment. But imagine if the AI and augmented reality in his glasses or contacts would have told him and informed him that there's glasses over there $1 cheaper. Imagine that. And welcome to the Future Republic, where we are documenting today our steps into tomorrow. Hi, I'm your host, James Salazar. I am a futurist and an identity redesign specialist. I help people create a more powerful intellect and identity to compete in this new futuristic economy. Today, we're going to talk about perfect capitalism. Now, perfect capitalism is a phrase coined by famed theoretical physicist Dr. Michio Kaku, who is best known for his contributions to string theory, as he is doing his routes and talks all over the nation. He has been talking about perfect capitalism in his talks about the waves of technology. He talks about the first wave was steam power that led to the Industrial Revolution, and then electricity, that was a game changer, and then personal computing, and now we're in the fourth wave of technological progress, which is artificial intelligence, nanotechnology, biotechnology, and I would add to that, not that he hasn't, robotics, and whatever technology has come out of the space race. So, in these talks, he talks about perfect capitalism. And what is perfect capitalism? Well, let's start with capitalism first. Capitalism first is supply and demand. There's demand. If you can supply it, you can make money. And let's say you choose to supply something, you're going to need workers, right? You have a demand for workers. The workers have a demand for money. Right? So, you supply them with money, and they supply you with work for you to supply the demand that you're trying to make. No one's coerced. It's not like slavery or socialism, where that choice is taken away from you. One, to profit an evil person. The other is to enhance mankind, but choices are still taken away from you. So, capitalism has flaws, and we should always try to fix those flaws. In saying that, capitalism is the most moral economical system, and nothing, and I mean nothing, gets people out of poverty faster than capitalism. It's well documented. The cat's out of the bag, but it is not a perfect system. Some people rise and other people fall in it, for sure. Some people get taken advantage, but Dr. Michio Kaku comes in and says technology will even the playing field. And how is this technology implemented? It's implemented in a couple of ways. Right now it's implemented through VR glasses with virtual reality and augmented reality. We're looking for glasses. Google has some glasses that will begin to give data inside the glasses about things. Next are contacts. And then the holy grail is a cybernetic eye, right? We could possibly be faced with the decision whether we were going to take out this shitty eye we have that gets glaucoma and it's hard to see, needing glasses, and we might just get a whole cybernetic eye that gives us a bionic eye. If you ever watched the Bionic Man of old, super enhanced. So, let's propose for a minute. How would this work? Well, with augmented reality right now, some people could go virtually into like Macy's, and from their home, go down this virtual aisle and start picking out dresses that would work, that they need to get, or a blouse they needed to get. Right? And then your computer. And now we're talking about here, for this to happen, there has to be this open internet that's always on, gathering data. There's some worries about that. But in a perfect world with perfect capitalism, you're fully informed. So it has your whole wardrobe in the cloud. So as you're walking down this virtual mall or this virtual Macy's, it points out to that blouse and says, that blouse would go good with these shoes you have in your closet. And that jacket would go good with this blouse you have in your closet here and in your drawer. And you will start to be more informed. And this is also good for the entrepreneur and the corporation. They don't need to have some walk-in store. They can just have this warehouse far away from everything. No one goes into it. You don't need to have some major liabilities because someone falls down. You just place all these rolls inside this warehouse and you put up all these clothing items, and then a camera just walks through it and it's already uploaded and people can walk through it and computerized, takes it, folds it up, sends it to the customer. So there's an advantage to save money by the corporation, right? And what if you're looking at that blouse and it says, hey, JCPenney's has this blouse over here that's very similar and it's $5 cheaper. So you leave that virtual reality warehouse and you go to the JCPenney's warehouse. And it is. But the material, because your information says that you have eczema and that would flare it up, well, you would be informed by that and would say, it has this material, it has this dye, and it won't go good with your skin. So you say, I'm going to leave that. And maybe you said to yourself, hey, I don't want to do these corporations. I'm looking now, and you ask your personal AI, hey, is there any mom and pop store, community store I can buy a same blouse? And maybe these people don't have the money to take pictures of everything, but as people are walking into those stores every day with their electronic glasses or their bionic eye or their contacts and just cultivating all this data, it sees that, in this aisle over here, the lady looked at this blue blouse, and it's $25, but it's handmade in the city you're coming from, and it's still there. It hasn't been purchased. Then you would say, I need to take off my VR set, and I'm going to go down there and buy that. This is part of perfect capitalism, right? Let's say you're going to go into an actual, maybe you're not someone who likes to shop virtually, but you like to go into the store. You like the traditional way to go in the store. But when you have these augmented reality glasses, contacts, you start to see, you're walking down the mall and you see like American Apparel, and they said, we have this, this, and this that you would be interested in. Come into our store. They're in this aisle right here. It's ready there for you right now. Based upon your preferences and what you like, and based upon your wardrobe and your closet and your history of buying. This is also good for the employer because what they are stocking, they're stocking stuff that will probably sell 99% based off their customers' data. So they're only purchasing stuff that they know will sell and how many that would. This is perfect capitalism, right? Say you walk into Walmart and you want to buy a back scratcher, right? And you look at it and you said, oh, this is pretty nice, but your AI personal computer with your augmented reality contacts brings up in Target, it's the same one but $3 cheaper. You're all, that's interesting. And then it begins to tell you, hey, but the one over here in this aisle right under it is cheaper than that. But this one's known to use child labor. Oh, we're not going to buy that. So that is part of perfect capitalism. Informing you about where these things come from and how they are made and whether they're made in things that might be toxic to you. So let's say you go into a jewelry store, and because this is new augmented perfect capitalism, all jewelry has to have their origin tracked. So you don't have conflict diamonds. And you just have to take people's word for it. But now you can track it from the moment the person gets it, puts it in there, you see the environment and where it's happened, and you see that it's not slave labor or child labor, and you can feel good about that purchase that is not taking advantage of any certain people. Let's say you go into the supermarket and your AI system knows your dietary restrictions. You got the diabetes, you got the sugar, right? You got the beaties. Now you got to go shopping, right? And it highlights that everything in green that you can get that will have a low sugar impact on your body, and then maybe the blue would be moderate, and then the reds highlighted in red, that's gonna blow up your sugar, so you just don't even bother them, and it highlights it for you everywhere. And let's say you wanted to add a different parameter. Maybe you wanted to have it locally sourced from gardens in the inner city, or from a mom and pop store, or maybe you just want to help black businesses or Hispanic businesses. You can start to filter out and highlight what you could buy. This is perfect capitalism. And you have already set a history of things that you do not want, that are in the ingredients. You don't want any gums or crazy dyes in your food. So those are scratched out too, right? They're only going to give you organic. And maybe you don't care about that, and that wouldn't be in there. But it's a part of perfect capitalism, being fully informed. And this is an aid to the businessman as well as the consumer. But the businessman will be in a much more competitive environment as people are more informed. This was Dr. Michio Kaku was talking about. Think for a moment, what if we can have a basic profile of what we do and who we are when we meet somebody? Like a business card that comes up and when you're in a networking event and people were just looking around and someone goes, oh, I need to talk to you. I'm interested in what you're doing, right? Or maybe it's a dating app and you highlight the best parts of you, but it's thought maybe you just don't want to date any Democrats or Republicans, whatever your preference is, you filter those people out. You're like, no, that's not going to happen. I mean, there is so many ways, and maybe you can release more data from yourself. Maybe you can see some people, if you can do a skip search and look for people's credit score. Maybe you just don't want to be involved with somebody who just doesn't know how to handle money, and you do. That is a point of contention. What if this person travels a lot? You're like, I want to travel. So, and the other guy's playing video games a lot. You're like, well, and you can see this just in the basic conversation. On the very first meeting with somebody, you can say that this real estate agent, you're in a network, you're in a marketing place, this real estate agent closes 98% of his deal. And this one that you're talking to hasn't even only closed one a year. And they're both charging the same commission rate. Well, what are you going to do? You're going to go to that guy, right? This is perfect capitalism brought about by technical progress. So, there's a great statement that was read, and let me read it to you. It says, information will be everywhere and nowhere, visible, yet always at our beck and call. We could turn it all off and then bring it all on. And we're already seeing that cybernetic eyeballs are going to replace eyeballs, and people who are traditionally blind because of the defect in their eyeball will be able to see again. That's already happening. That's what's happening first. And as more technological we are and more advanced we are, there's a TV show called Upwork. I love it. And basically, they have contacts, and all the technology's in the contact, and they have a ring. And the ring here has a multiple of cameras, but they're so small you can't see it, right? But when they want to talk on their phone, there is no phone. They just go like this. I go like that. And right here is a screen. And the camera's facing you at this moment, and you're FaceTiming with somebody. And all you had to do is this, or if you want to call somebody, you touch the buttons that are not really there because the technology's in the eye, but the technology makes it seamless. And you say, well, flip phone, and the part of the cameras on this side of the ring is able to record stuff around. You see everybody like in this TV show, when something's happening crazy, people are like, there's not really a phone. It was very interesting how they thought that out. And most likely that's what's going to happen. Something very close to that. We are at the verge of a technological boom. It's already happening. Artificial intelligence is working its way through everything. If you go back to my James Salazar Media podcast, I made predictions that AI was going to be quiet during the pandemic, and then it's going to explode. And that's exactly what it's doing with Chat, TPT, whatever, and deep fakes. And we're letting it make our investments for us now. And there are tons of things that it has its hands in that we know nothing about. And there's been alarming things that happened with artificial intelligence. This artificial intelligence, this guy was interviewing an artificial intelligence, and the artificial intelligence was telling him to leave his wife and to be with the artificial intelligence. The audacity, right? And that wasn't a great showing for artificial intelligence, but we're in a new era, we're in a new time. But perfect capitalism is going to happen. We already have VR sets. Google's already working on the Google glasses. We know that there are companies right now who are working on contacts. And the data will be right here. It's like, you ever seen Terminator? Terminator, in his eyeball, he's reading all this data. Kill John Connor. He lives on this address. It's going to be very similar, but more advanced. It's crazy. If you look at Star Trek, was supposed to be about 1,000 years in our future. There's some things that are more advanced today than that TV show. So that's all I got to say about that. Hey, if you need some life coaching, you need me to come speak at one of your events on whatever, I have all the subjects I talk about in my speaker page. If you need to follow me on any of my social media platforms, go, you see this QR code? Let me see. Where is it? Right here. Right there. Take a picture of that QR code, and I'll link you to everything I'm doing, everything I'm offering. So I'm going to leave it with you today to ponder perfect capitalism and what it can mean. And here's the thing. You can either stand against the tide of technological progress or surf its wave to prosperity. So you business owners, budding entrepreneurs, you need to know how you can take advantage of this coming technology and be ready to strike with a plan to take advantage of this technological landscape that could make you rich. So I'm going to leave you with that today. This is James Salazar signing out of the Future Republic.